Shalom, family. This is Elder Jenkins with the King James Bible University. And I want to speak to you on the topic, God loveth none but him that dwelleth with wisdom. Now, family, we know that it's all different types of wisdom out there, worldly wisdom and things that man see wise in his own eyes. But the wisdom that we're talking about is the wisdom that comes from above, the wisdom that comes from the Most High God of Israel, the wisdom that comes from the Father of lights. This is the wisdom that we're talking about. So, family, I don't plan on being before you very long. We're going to go ahead and get started with this teaching. And it's my prayer that someone would be richly edified. This is one merely for us to meditate on. It's something that we can keep in our hearts and our minds, and while we are driving, whether it's at the work or just family travels, we can meditate on this one and just let it play in our spirit. And so I'm going to start with a precept that's not in my teaching, but it just came to my mind. And we're going to go ahead and get started with this teaching. So once again, this is Elder Jenkins with the King James Bible University. And we're going to go ahead and get started. God loveth none but him that dwelleth with wisdom. And the precept came to my mind is in James chapter 1. We'll start there and then we'll go ahead and get started. And we hit verse 17. It says, every good gift and every perfect gift is from above, and cometh down from the Father of lights. It says, with whom is no variableness, neither shadow of turning. So he's letting us know, family, this perfect gift is coming from the Father of lights. It says, of his own will begat he us with the word of truth, that we should be a kind of first fruits of his creatures. Wherefore, my beloved brethren, let every man be swift to hear, slow to speak, slow to wrath. For the wrath of man worketh not the righteousness of Yahweh. Wherefore lay apart all filthiness and superfluity of naughtiness, and receive with meekness the engrafted word, which is able to save your souls. But be ye doers of the word, and not hearers only, deceiving your own selves. For if any be a hearer of the word and not a doer, he is like unto a man, male or female, beholding his natural face in a glass. For he beholdeth himself and goeth his way, and straightway forgetteth what manner of man he was. So this is something for us to meditate on. So let's go to the book of Sirach, chapter 14. And we'll start at verse 20 down to 25. It says, blessed, meaning given wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, is the man that doeth meditate good things in wisdom. He just showed us that these good things come from above. He just said every good gift and every perfect gift is from above and coming down from the fathers of light. He just told us that. So now he's saying wisdom, knowledge, and understanding is given to this man, male or female, that doeth meditate good things in wisdom, and that reasoneth of holy things by his understanding. He that considered her ways in his heart shall also have understanding in her secrets. Go after her as one that traceth and lie in wait in her ways. Speaking about wisdom. He that prieth in at her windows shall also hearken at her doors. He that doeth lodge near her house shall also fasten a pin in her walls. He shall pitch his tent nigh unto her, and shall lodge in a lodging where good things are. Sirach chapter 4, verse 16 through 18. If a man commit himself unto her, he shall inherit her, and his generation shall hold her in possession. For at the first she will walk with him by crooked ways, and bring fear and dread upon him, and torment him with her discipline, until she may trust his soul and try him by her laws. Then will she return the straight way unto him, and comfort him, and show him her secrets. Proverbs chapter 2, verse 1 through 8. My son, my servant, if thou wilt receive my words, and hide my commandments with thee, so that thou incline thine ear unto wisdom, and apply thine heart to understanding. Yea, if thou criest after knowledge, and lifted up thy voice for understanding, if thou seekest her as silver, and searchest for her as for hid treasures, then shalt thou understand the fear, the desire of the Spirit of God, and find the knowledge of Yahweh. For the Spirit of God giveth wisdom, out of his mouth, his doctrine, his truth, his word, cometh knowledge and understanding. He laid up sound wisdom for the righteous. He is a buckler to them that walk uprightly. He keepeth the paths of judgment. The way of his doctrine and truth, he keepeth it and preserveth the way of his saints. It's a family that's path, that he have us on. It's preserved for you and I. All we have to do is follow his instructions, being weaned from the milk and drawn from the breast. For precept must be upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little and there a little. He keepeth the paths of his doctrine and teaching, and preserveth the way of his saints. His saints is going to do it his way, the way that he have instructed us to do it, to learn his word and to understand his doctrine and to receive his knowledge. We're not going to try to compromise. We're not going to try to contradict. We're not going to try to reason, but we're going to hearken and obey his voice. We're not going to try to go against the grain. We're not going to try to start our own way and follow after our own beliefs. We're going to hearken unto his voice. He keepeth the paths of his doctrine and teaching, his counsel, his wisdom, and preserveth the way of his saints. Very important information. Proverbs chapter 4, verse 8 down to 13. Exalt her, and she shall promote thee. She shall bring thee to honor when thou doest embrace her. She shall give to thine head an ornament of grace, a crown of glory shall she deliver to thee. Hear, O my son, and receive my sayings, and the years of thy life shall be many. I have taught thee in the way of wisdom. I have led thee in right paths. When thou goest, thy steps shall not be straitened. And when thou runnest, thou shalt not stumble. Take fast hold of instruction, let her not go. Keep her, for she is thy life. This is your lifeline to eternity. Don't mess it up, friends. Proverbs chapter 5 and verse 19. Let her be as the loving hen and pleasant roe. Let her breast satisfy thee at all time. Her doctrine and teaching satisfy thee. Her counsel satisfy thee at all times. And be thou ravished always with her love, with her promise that she promised unto you. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 6, verse 12 down to 22. Wisdom is glorious and never faded away. Yea, she is easily seen of them that love her, that promise her, the ones that made a promise to her. Matter of fact, let's pull something. Let's pull something and we'll come back. Proverbs chapter 8 and verse 17. He says, I love them that love me. In other words, I promised them that made a promise to me. And those that seek me early shall find me. If you seeking after wisdom, you shall find wisdom. If you're seeking after the truth, you shall find the truth. And so now he's telling us wisdom is glorious. It never faded away. Yea, she is easily seen of them that love her, that promise her, and found of such as seek her. Same thing he just told us in Proverbs 8 and 17. She prevented them that desire her in making herself first known unto them. She got to test them and see what they're about. Whoso seeketh her early shall have no great travail, for he shall find her sitting at his doors. To think, therefore, upon her is perfection of wisdom. And whoso watcheth for her shall quickly be without care. For she goeth about seeking such as are worthy of her, showeth herself favorably unto them in the ways, and meted them in every thought. For the very true beginning of her is the desire of discipline. And the care of discipline is love. And love is the keeping of her laws. And the giving heed unto her laws is the assurance of incorruption. And incorruption maketh us near unto Yahweh. Therefore, the desire of wisdom bringeth to a kingdom. If your delight be then in thrones and scepters, O ye kings, ye rulers, ye leaders of the people, honor wisdom, that ye may reign forevermore. As for wisdom, what she is and how she came up, I will tell you, and will not hide mysteries from you, but will seek her out from the beginning of her nativity, and bring the knowledge of her into light, and will not pass over the truth. Wisdom of Solomon 7 and verse 22 down to 28. For wisdom, which is the worker of all things, taught me. For in her is an understanding spirit holy, one only, manifold, subtile, lively, clear, undefiled, plain, not subject to hurt, loving the thing that is good, quick, which cannot be letted, ready to do good, kind to man, steadfast, sure, free from care, having all power, overseeing all things, and going through all understanding, pure and most subtile spirits. For wisdom is more moving than any motion. She passeth and goeth through all things by reason of her pureness. For she is the breath of the power of Yahweh, and a pure influence flowing from the glory of the Almighty, the all-sovereign Creator. Therefore can no defiled thing fall into her. For she is the brightness of the everlasting light, the unspotted mirror of the power of Yahweh, and the image of his goodness. And being but one, she can do all things, and remaining in herself, she maketh all things new. And in all ages and all generations, entering into holy souls, she maketh them friends of Yahweh and prophets. For Yahweh loveth none but him that dwelleth with wisdom. This is what's going down, family. He loveth none but him that dwelleth with wisdom. Psalms 1, verses 1 through 3. Blessed, meaning given wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, as the man that walked not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standeth in the way of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful. But his delight is in the law of the Lord, and his law do he meditate day and night. And he shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of water, that bringeth forth his fruit in his season. His leaf also shall not wither, and whatsoever he doeth shall prosper. It shall prosper. Sirach, chapter 14, verse 26 and 27. He shall set his children under her shelter. In other words, spiritually speaking, he shall set his works, his deeds under her shelter. So he's working under the influence of wisdom, and shall lodge under her branches. By her he shall be covered from heat, and in her glory shall he dwell. So if he set his works under the shelter of wisdom, wisdom would be our covering as we go about our day. The heat wouldn't be able to even hurt us because we're covered by wisdom. What he's trying to tell us, family. Wisdom of Solomon. Chapter 8, verses 1 down to 21. Wisdom reacheth from one end to another mightily, and sweetly doeth she order all things. I loved her and sought her out from my youth. I desired to make her my spouse, and I was a lover of her beauty, in that she is conversant with Yahweh. She magnified her nobility. Yea, the creator of all things himself loved her. That's what's going down. Not only that, for she is privy to the mysteries of the knowledge of Yahweh, and a lover of his works. If riches be a possession to be desired in this life, what is richer than wisdom that worketh all things? And if prudence work, who of all that are in a more cunning workman than she? And if a man love righteousness, her labors are virtues. For she teacheth temperance and prudence, justice and fortitude, which are such things as men can have nothing more profitable in their life. Virtues and temperance and prudence and justice and fortitude. Very important. Verse 8. If a man desire much experience, she knoweth things of old, and conjectureth aright what is to come. She knoweth the subtleties of speeches, and can expound dark sentences. She foreseeth signs and wonders, and the events of seasons and times. Therefore, I purpose to take her to me, to live with me, knowing that she would be a counselor of good things and a comfort in cares and grief. For her sake, I shall have estimation among the multitude, and honor with the elders, though I be young. I shall be found of a quick conceit and judgment, and shall be admired in the sight of great men. When I hold my tongue, they shall bide my leisure. And when I speak, they shall give good ear unto me. If I talk much, they shall lay their hands upon their mouth. Moreover, by the means of her, I shall obtain immortality, and leave behind me an everlasting memorial to them that come after me. I shall set the people in order, and the nations shall be subject unto me. Horrible tyrants shall be afraid when they do but hear of me. I shall be found good among the multitude and violent in war. After I am come into mine house, I will repose myself with her, for her conversation have no bitterness, and to live with her have no sorrow, but mirth and joy. Now, when I considered these things in myself, and pondered them in my heart, how that to be allied unto wisdom is immortality, and great pleasure it is to have her friendship. And in the works of her hands are infinite riches. And in the exercise of conference with her, prudence and in talking with her, a good report, I went about seeking how to take her to me. For I was a witty child and had a good spirit. Yea, rather being good, I came into a body undefiled. Nevertheless, when I perceived that I could not otherwise obtain her, except Yahweh gave her me, and that was a point of wisdom also, to know whose gift she was, I prayed unto the Creator and besought him, and with my whole heart, I said, Wisdom of Solomon 9, 1 through 15. O God of my fathers and creator of mercy, who has made all things with thy word, and ordained man through thy wisdom, that he should have dominion over the creatures which thou hast made, and order the world according to equity and righteousness, and execute judgment with an upright heart. Give me wisdom that sitteth by the throne, and reject me not from among thy children. For I, thy servant and son of thine handmaid, and am a feeble person, and of a short time, and too young for the understanding of judgment and laws. For though a man be never so perfect among the children of men, yet if thy wisdom be not with him, he shall be nothing regarded. Thou hast chosen me to be a king of thy people, and a judge of thy sons and daughters. Thou hast commanded me to build a temple upon thy holy mount, and an altar in the city wherein thou dwellest, a resemblance of the holy tabernacle which thou hast prepared for the beginning. And wisdom was with thee, which knoweth thy works, and was present when thou madest the world, and knew what was acceptable in thy sight, and right in thy commandments. O send her out of thy holy heavens, and from the throne of thy glory, that being present she may labor with me, that I may know what is pleasing unto thee. For she knoweth and understandeth all things, and she shall lead me soberly in my doings, and preserve me in her power. So shall my works be acceptable, and then shall I judge, meaning shall I teach thy people righteously, and be worthy to sit in my Father's seat. For what man is he that can know the counsel of Yahweh, or who can think what the will of the Creator is? For the thoughts of mortal men are miserable, and our devices are but uncertain. For the corruptible body presseth down the soul, and the earthly tabernacle weighed down the mind that muzzled upon many things. Proverbs chapter 4, verse 7. Wisdom is the principal thing. Therefore, get wisdom, and with all thy getting, get understanding. Verse 6. Forsake her not, and she shall preserve thee. Love her, meaning what? Promise her, and she shall keep thee. Sirach chapter 10. Sirach chapter 1, that's a correction, I'm sorry. Sirach chapter 1, verse 10 through 15. She is with all flesh according to his gift, and he have given her to them that love him, to them that promise him. The fear, meaning the desire of the Creator, is honor and glory and gladness and a crown of rejoicing. The desire of the Creator make it a merry heart and give it joy and gladness and a long life. Whoso desired the Creator, it shall go well with him at the last, and he shall find favor in the day of his death. To desire the Creator is the beginning of wisdom, and it was created with the faithful in the womb. She hath built an everlasting foundation with him, and she shall continue with their seed. Sirach chapter 24, verses 1 through 12. Wisdom shall praise herself, and shall glory in the midst of her people. In the congregation of the Most High shall she open her mouth and triumph before his power. I came out of the mouth of the Most High and covered the earth as a cloud. I dwelt in high places, and my throne is in a cloudy pillar. I alone compassed the circuit of heaven and walked in the bottom of the deep, in the waves of the sea, and in all the earth, and in every people and nation I got a possession. With all these I sought rest, and in whose inheritance shall I abide? So the Creator of all things gave me a commandment, and he that made me caused my tabernacle to rest, and said, let thy dwelling be in Jacob, and thine inheritance in Israel. He created me from the beginning before the world, and I shall never fail. In the holy tabernacle and the people I served before him, and so was I established in Zion. Likewise, in the beloved city, the beloved people, he gave me rest. And in Jerusalem, in the house of Israel, in all 12 tribes was my power. And I took root in an honorable people, even in the portion of the Lord's inheritance. I'm going to double right back to Sirach 1 and 15 to make sure we saw this connection. He said, she have built an everlasting foundation with men, and she shall continue with their seed. And he just told us in Sirach chapter 24 who this seed was. Right here. In verse 8, so the creator of all things gave me a commandment, and he that made me caused my tabernacle to rest, and said, let thy dwelling be in Jacob, and thine inheritance in Israel. Sirach 1, verse 16 down to 21. To desire the creator is fullness of wisdom, and filleth men with her fruits. She filleth all their house with things desirable, and the garners with her increase. The fear, meaning the desire of the creator, is a crown of wisdom, making peace and perfect health to flourish, both which are the gifts of Yahweh, and it enlargeth their rejoicing, that love him, that promise him. Wisdom raineth down skill and knowledge of understanding, standing, and exalted them to honor that hold her fast. The root of wisdom is to desire the creator, and the branches thereof are long life. The desire of the creator driveth away sins, and where it is present, it turneth away wrath. 2 Esdras, chapter 16, verse 74 down to 78. He says, hear, O ye my beloved, said the creator, behold, the days of trouble are at hand, but I will deliver you from this same. Be ye not afraid, neither doubt. For Yahweh is your guide, and the guide of them who keep my commandments and precepts, said the creator Yahweh. Let not your sins weigh you down, and let not your iniquities lift up themselves. Woe be unto them that are bound with their sins, and covered with their iniquities, like as a field is covered over with bushes, and the path thereof covered with thorns, that no man may travel through. It is left undressed, and is cast into the fire to be consumed therewith. He's given us clear warning, family, the dangers that's out there that's set before us. Exodus chapter 19 and verse 5 and 6. He says, now therefore, if ye will obey my voice indeed, and keep my covenant, my agreement, then ye shall be a peculiar treasure unto me above all people, for all the earth is mine. And ye shall be unto me a kingdom of priests and a holy nation. These are the words which thou shalt speak unto the children of Israel. As we get ready to close, I want to hit one more precept in Revelations chapter 1, verse 5 and 6. It says, and from salvation the anointed one, Yahweh Shah the Messiah, Jesus Christ, who is the faithful witness and the first begotten of the dead, and the prince of the kings of the earth, unto him that loved us, that promised us, and washed us from our sins in his own blood, in his own life, and have made us kings and priests unto God, meaning Jehovah and his Father, To him be glory and dominion forever and ever. Amen. So family, we see here that God, Yahweh, loveth none but him that dwelleth with wisdom. It's very important, family, that we be about our Father's business. It's very important that we do the things that he have instructed us to do. And we do it in the way that he have instructed us to do them. For precept must be upon precept, line upon line, and here little and there little. We must be weaned from the milk and drawn from the breast. It's no exception to the rule. So it's very important, family, that we meditate on this word. And we allow this word to minister into us. Whether we sitting on our back porch, we riding in our vehicles, we laying in our bed with the lights off, we in our prayer closet, it doesn't matter where you at. Allow this word to marinate in your soul. For Yahweh loveth none but him that dwelleth with wisdom. So family, I hope and pray something was said to help encourage you on your journey. And I want to say a happy Sabbath to everyone as we begin this Sabbath morning. And a shalom to everyone until we meet again. Shalom.